everybody. This is is my mic muted? Anyway, this is Roland Pruitt. This is Roland Pruitt's Kaiju Review. This is show number 11, and we're doing Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which actually should be called King Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Just like my new shirt. I got a new shirt that says got Ghidorah on it, but his real name is King Ghidorah. But anyway, I'm going off the track here. We've got a lot of good stuff to talk about here. It's a really good movie. It's the first time they put 4 kaiju together in one movie for Toho to battle each other out. So they have all the good ones: Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla, and this new space dragon, three-headed dragon, Ghidorah, King Ghidorah. So let's go ahead and bring up Anastasia. And
it's
Professor
good to be
Wallnott.
here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Professor Wallnott, got his hat on?
Yes, yes. You know, you can't go kaiju hunting without the proper headgear.
That's correct. You're looking very Kenji Sahara there.
Thank you.
So I always say that about your hat because it looks like Kenji Sahara's hat in Mysterians. Anyway,
Yes.
Before we totally geek out, let's go ahead and bring up our special guest. We have a special guest here. He's a kaiju enthusiast. His name is Charles Healan.
Hi.
Some of my friends call him Jinx.
Hi, I'm special.
You're special.
I am special. That's what my mom tells me.
Well, there you go. Still lives with his mom. I'm kidding. You got cats, though.
I do. They're not here now.
Well, good. Although we don't mind a good cat cameo every now and again, you know.
They'll show up.
They look like Gabra. So anyway, so you've actually gone to Tokyo. You actually went to Tokyo when the pandemic hit. Am I right?
Yeah. My wife and I, we went on our honeymoon to Japan. We actually had 3 weeks planned, all up and down Japan. We ended up getting into Tokyo. They started shutting down the public schools and everything. A couple days after we were there, they shut down Disney, and then they started shutting down the parks. And we were like, we probably should get out of here. So we were literally in Tokyo for about 4 days and had to turn around and come back home.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, Tokyo was amazing.
Yes.
Right.
I want to go someday. I really do. I want to go and
Highly recommended.
I want to get some figures. Like this one. King Ghidorah.
He looks familiar.
Yeah. And he's got the the posable legs and wings. So that's the original King Ghidorah. This is actually a special variant Godzilla. It's very hard to. This is actually the Godzilla from Monster Zero. But you could say it looks very similar to the one that's in this movie. Between the 64 version, which was Mothra versus Godzilla, and Monster Zero. So he looks but he's a little greener.
He's an Ibra as well, isn't he? Isn't that something in Ibra?
He looks a little more Muppety, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. He had the big Kermit eyes.
He's got the big ping pong ball
Googly eyes. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So this one is the Godzilla from the Ghidorah films from the mid-60s. And we've got Rodan. I have not yet found a 7-inch Rodan. This is the original Rodan from the 50s. But I have yet to find one that looks like the bird from 1964 through, oh my God, I guess the rest of the 60s. But he looks more bird-like in the head.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the little Mothra larva. That's only one survived from the last battle with Godzilla. There we go. There we go. So the big Mothra, the wings, we don't get to see that in this movie.
Yeah.
So just the little baby one that survived from the battle with Godzilla. Evidently, one of them, Godzilla killed it. So we only have one in this one.
They never say.
They don't really explain it.
No,
I don't
just
explain it in the Japanese version, but
that one just died.
Yeah,
But
they
they're
just say,
quick
it one died, and that's it. You know.
Well,
little,
you know,
little peanuts.
he did like throw rocks at him and stuff while they were spraying him with their goo. So, and he was melting rocks with his heat ray. So,
yes.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our timeline. Oh, Anastasia, do you have any pictures from Charles's vacation in Toho?
No. I did not see. Can you send to the email, please? I don't see.
I didn't send him the email. I sent him to the room. Anyway.
Okay. I will check. I will check.
I sent them to the production room. Anyway, we might show those a little later. You stayed at the Godzilla Hotel with Godzilla outside your window, and you went to Toho Studios, and they had Godzillas out front and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, I stalked the studios.
Did you actually get into Disney before they closed, or no?
Nope. I think we had scheduled Disney on the way back from our trip, and it was already, you know what I mean? We just didn't get to it.
All right. Well, you'll go again.
One day.
Okay, so Criterion Collection. These movies are all Criterion Collection now in Toho scope. These are pictures from the original Japanese version of the film. This timeline. Although I do like the dubbed English version of the film. It's not bad. Pretty cool. Dun, 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 dun. That's what they start out. I tried my best to snap the shots in the credits before the credits went over their faces. So we have Godzilla, Rodan. The bells are chiming. It's late at night. They're watching the skies. An alien, he's an expert on aliens. They're looking to the skies. And there is a news reporter there. And she's becoming a nuisance to the guy. He's like, what the hell do you know? Yeah.
You're an unbeliever. He says, you're an unbeliever. You don't believe in the UFOs.
I like how they blame her because of her unbelief for the UFOs not showing up. That's
exactly.
That's right. It's your fault.
Believe they won't show up.
That's right. I forgot that. That's funny. So yeah, so they're waiting for UFOs and they don't come. There's a shot of the sky. I think there's one like shining star out there. Anyway,
meteors start falling from the sky.
Yeah. Oh, meteors, that's right.
Yep, shooting stars. Meteors.
Actually, it's been a while since I've seen this film. Anyway, and I should have watched it again just before the show, but hey,
I watched it this afternoon to catch up.
Busy guy. Well, there you go. You guys are smart. Now, this little guy is in most of the Toho Godzilla films. He's somewhere. And he's in Shindo's office there. Shindo is the detective. And he's played by Yasuka Natsuki, who was in a couple of the Toho films and then later came back for Godzilla 1985. Godzilla Returns. But he was much older. But at this time, he was like Elvis, man. He was like a major star in Tokyo, or in Japan, I should say. Mm-hmm. And his job right now, that's his chief inspector, Chief Detective Okata, played by Akihiko Harata, otherwise known to the world of Godzilla as Sarazawa. He is supposed to protect a princess who's coming to visit, Selena Salno, from Sergina. Sergina?
Yes, Solgina. Solgina.
Sergina. Sergina.
Sargina.
Yeah. Her assistant there, and the people from Sergina all wear these white, like, collar things.
Little ruffled collars. Exactly. It's like,
looks like the 1400s.
Never quite got out of the, exactly, yes.
They're fancy, you see.
That's Hideo Amamoto, who's also in a lot of Godzilla films. He's the neighbor who takes care of Ichiro in Godzilla's Revenge. He's Doctor Who in King Kong Escapes. Speaking of King Kong Escapes, Detective Shindo, the lady who was in, and she was a girl at the time, King Kong Escapes, Linda Miller, dated him and has very fond memories of him.
I did not know that.
It's
Roland, let us do
That can't-
slideshow of Jinx. Let us do slideshow now.
all right. Jinx, hi Jinx.
Hi.
We want to do this now. It's good timing.
Yeah, that's out front of Toho Studios, and that's the hotel. That's
Godzilla
Godzilla's background.
They have a gigantic Godzilla, actual size, outside the hotel, in front of the hotel, so you can see.
Yeah, he's literally peering over the hotel building. It's insane.
Now, if you get a room in the back of the building, I'm guessing it's like a shitty view, and you can't pay as much.
Wow.
You got to pay like more money for the Godzilla view.
No, we did.
That's funny.
Yeah, we specifically was like, if we're going to be there in Tokyo and I'm staying at that hotel,
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep by Godzilla's head. And that's what we did.
I don't want the pool view. I want Godzilla view.
Yeah. and I think it was on the hour, you would hear these like footsteps, like, and he would screech and like basically like blow mist out of the mouth.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Every hour,
Yeah.
he would atomic breath the place. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, and that was in Tokyo. I can't remember where, but I was Shin Godzilla. I mean, I'm not a huge Shin Godzilla fan, but it was still cool to see.
There you go. Okay, so the princess is on her plane, and these people who work for her want to assassinate her, want to kill her, so they can take over. They want a coup, take over the country. The guy with the white ruffled shirt in white, between the two red guards. Hey, they stole that and used it for Star Wars. That's Malmus is his name. He's the chief assassin, Malmus. And the guy that's telling him you need to kill the princess, you need to go to Tokyo while she's staying there and kill her. That guy is played by Shin Otomo, who's in a lot of the Kurosawa films with Toshiro Mifune and all. So anyway, the aliens from Venus come to the plane and they warn the princess, you got to get off that plane now because they're going to blow it up. So she steps out of like in a trance, she steps out of the plane and falls, and the plane is destroyed. It blows up. And a light appears close to the plane and saves the princess. Isn't that nice? So now we have Professor Mira, played by Hiroshi Koizumi. He's played Mira in Mothra versus Godzilla. This has become a regular kind of thing for him, playing a professor. And they're going to inspect a park there where one of the meteors crash landed. They want to see the meteor. Also in that crew, if you've got a good eye, over his shoulder quite a bit actually in this film, is Ben Haraya, who was the original Ultraman in the suit. Not the Ultraman guy. He's coming in later as one of the assassins with a mustache. But the guy that was the Ultraman in the suit, Ben Haraya, who's still alive today, he's still doing autographs and stuff. He's all in this crew here. Yeah,
That's awesome.
kind of a long face. Okay, so Shindo is getting ready to go protect the princess, and his chief detective says, "No, you don't have to worry about it. Her plane blew up."
He's so casual about it too. He's like, "Yeah, she's dead," So you're off the assignment.
That's kind of the way it was. Now, the reporter is Shindo's sister, and he tells her about it, and then she's going to cover something, and this crazy woman that says she's an alien from Venus is warning of impending doom. The end is near. I am a prophet. Yeah, she's dressed like a bum, and everybody's not taking her seriously. But it's Akiko Wakabayashi, the princess, and Akiko Wakabayashi. I mean, come on. She's a James Bond girl for crying out loud.
Quite easy on the eyes. Yes.
So, is this at Mount Apo?
Yes.
With Rodan?
Yes.
No,
Like,
that can't be.
Was-
Because there's a whole shtick there where the guy's hat goes down.
that's
Yeah.
later.
And,
That happens later. No, this is first. They're like,
Anyway,
she's
yeah.
like, oh, this is doom, and it's like, see, nothing's happening. She's full of
Gloom
shit.
and doom, and everything. Get lost. Yeah, doom and gloom. They're like, get lost, you hack, you crazy nut. All right.
You hippie.
So again, she knows. I'm sorry. We're gonna have another cat cameo.
Oh yeah.
The Shindos are talking to their mom. And they're talking about the princess, and they look at the TV and they see the nutty space alien girl, and it's, hey, that's Princess. I know her anywhere.
No.
Oh,
They
this
watched
is the Mothra.
variety
I'm sorry,
show.
the Mothra show with the
Yes,
Shobijin.
the two little
They're watching the
boys.
variety
and-
show with Shobijin. I'm sorry.
Right.
My
And
bad.
they wish for Mothra.
We want to see Mothra.
And
More than anything.
I love these two Tokyo show hosts. They're trying to be like the two Ronnies, and they're trying to be funny, and they're really all not good. And I think they did that on purpose. They didn't want them to be good. And the fairies are actually very entertaining. And they sing one of their Mothra songs, Mothra, Mothra. And the audience loves them.
We're friends now. Don't come and kill us.
No, this is the other song, the other Mothra song. Yes. Now you can see Mothra, because one of the kids goes, "Hey, I want to see Mothra." And they're like, "Oh, we can't do that." But if we sing a song, which is part of the movie, then maybe you can see Mothra. Then maybe Mothra will come into your head. So it's like a psychedelic. And there's Mothra Island, Infant Island, which is basically the island shot I think they use for every island in the Toho films.
Yep.
And there's the natives dancing, and Mothra is there, kind of moving. Where's my Mothra?
And
Because the other one died.
Okay.
Yes, I love the shaman with his very cool hat.
I wonder if
Yeah.
you think the one ate the other for power, a power play, Game of Thrones type
I'm
stuff.
dying.
That's-
Eat me
that's-
before you go back to Infant Island, because I'm dying. Eat me, brother.
Oh dear, that's
Consume my
Your
power.
sister, I think it's a she-male. I think it's a Freudian slip. I think
What is happening?
it's a female Mothra, because I think later in Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, it's a female Mothra, and they say she's dying. So it makes sense that Mothra would grow up to be that. The larva Mothra would grow up to be that Mothra, and then there it is. So, but she actually hatched an egg before Destroy All Monsters. So, because there's another larva Mothra for Destroy All Monsters. Anyway, so they realized, hey, she didn't die. This whack job that's in the Tokyo newspaper, that's her. Got to go kill her. Do it personally. So Malmus is like, all right.
I need to put on my best.
I love the fact that he's got that. He's wearing the air filter collar and some really badass sunglasses. He's like the Jack Nicholson of air filter collars.
Like, look, I can't really take
And the
you
other guy
seriously,
looks
man.
silly. I'd like to be on that meeting of okay, so what are we going to dress these foreigners are? Oh, I know. We make them look like a Vermeer painting.
Make them look tough, but they'll be wearing air filters.
Ew! You want to kill the princess, That's what they should have made him foppish. Oh yes, well. Kenji Sahara plays a news editor. This is his one scene. He's in all the Godzilla films somewhere. He's a nice guy. Still alive too, I think. And they're talking about they need to find out more about this this prophet. They need to go out into the field, find the prophet, find out what's going on. He said, Shindo, you go out, you see if you can get some pictures and find out about him. And oh, by the way, the two Mothra Shobijin little girls are going back to Infant Island. So maybe get a couple of pictures of them going back, getting on the boat. Now, usually they ride Mothra back. That's why I'm laughing. I don't know why they decided, oh, we're just going to take a steamship. Maybe because the tickets were paid for. Let's not bother Mothra. The tickets are paid for. Now, Detective Shindo is looking at pictures of the princess, and there's a bracelet that she's wearing, a gold bracelet that she wears. And there's this like a fisherman that's got the bracelet. I guess he tried to pawn it or something. Right. And they got him.
He fished it out of the ocean.
Honest fisherman. That's his name. No, he met up with the princess and she traded the her clothes and the bracelet for his clothes.
Oh yeah.
So she could be the prophet.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, I didn't steal it. She gave it to me. He's the honest fisherman, played by Ikio Sawamura.
Now, was he the cab driver in the other one, the other movie?
In Atragon. He was a cab driver in Atragon. He's again, he plays a character in just about all the Godzilla films somewhere. He's the priest on the beach in Mothra versus Godzilla. He's all the way up through Terror of Mechagodzilla, where he plays a mute, like a Igor kind of character. Yes, master, but he's mute. And that was his last one. So anyway, they find out that Professor Mara is staying in their hotel, and hey, how's it going with the meteor? We're watching over it. And so there it is. And then the prophet shows up at Mount Apo. It says Radon is going to appear. It's Radon, in Japan. Rodan in America. I don't know why they changed it, but anyway, Radon. So the guy on the with the hat looked very familiar.
I love this guy. He's in a lot of the goofy guy. Stuff too. Oh yeah,
he plays goofy guy. The film. He's the guy that's on the ladder in Revenge of Godzilla, where they honk his motorcycle horn. He falls off the ladder and paint all over him and everything. He's also the drunken guy who's floating in midair because he's got a bag of diamonds in Ghidorah.
Yeah.
He always plays goofy kind of guys. Oh, wait a minute! You're talking about the guy that goes. The guy that goes to get the hat. He also plays goofy.
Yeah, I love him. So, he has like a cartoony face. He's so funny.
Yes, he's missing some teeth, and he's got a really kind of gaunt face, and he's the interpreter in King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes,
that's his most famous role. Anyway, he goes down to get the hat because the guys agreed to give him 100 yen or something, and Rodan appears, just like she said, and comes up and flies out, and they all immediately get on their tour buses, which I think is a bad idea with Rodan's flying around, because tour buses tend to fly off the ground.
Exactly. I'm surprised we didn't see the buses go flying off, with the power of his wind and everything.
I think they probably filmed the shot, and I bet you that shot existed at one time, but they said, no, it's too cruel. We're not.
See, that's what happens when
you
don't
listen
to
the prophet. Original Rodan, where the poor guy was supposed to send a message back to headquarters, and he's in a Jeep, and Rodan flies over the Jeep, and the Jeep just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so at the airport, Malmus shows up, looking much more modern, doesn't have a air filter on his neck. I love that you brought that up. That's funny. And he's got a bunch of really bad-looking dudes with him. It's like central casting. We need some bad dudes. Okay, there's Ben Haraya on the left there with the thing around his neck. And they're watching, and the meteor is glowing, and it's magnetic. It starts to bring their tools to it and stuff. At the ship, the Shindo, the reporter, and her assistants are talking to the Shobijin, and that's when the Venetian prophet shows up. You must not sail. Get off this boat now. And the captain does not listen. He's like,
I don't take
get out of
orders
here,
from a
crackpot.
woman.
This is my boat. damn, full speed ahead, damn it. There he is, the honest fisherman.
He looks like Bill Murray there.
He
does.
He does kind of look she wanted my clothes, and she gave me a nice gold bracelet for it. That's a Cinderella story. It's my really terrible Bill Murray impersonation. So
was great.
He points out a picture of her and goes, "Yeah, that's her. Can I get my bracelet back?" No.
Nope.
We're gonna put you in a holding cell. Well, wait a minute. I told you everything. The guy that's the desk clerk is also always in these movies. He's always somewhere in these movies. He's character actor. He does Kurosawa films too. So here's what happens. Shindo takes the Venetian to the hotel. Here, let me take you to the hotel and clean you up. I'm going to introduce you to my editor. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Sure you are. So as she's going in the elevator, Malmus just happens to have a booking at that hotel. He's like, "Hey, it's her." And the guy with the mustache behind him is actually the original Ultraman. He's the first guy to play the character that turns into Ultraman in the first season of Ultraman. Still alive, I think, too.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, Susumu Kurobi. So both the original Ultraman, Ben Hiraya, the suit Ultraman, and him, I think they're still alive.
I guess
Wow.
it
At
pays
least
to
they
be
were a
Ultraman.
couple of years ago.
It pays to be Ultraman.
So
I still find it an extraordinary coincidence that Malmus happens to be in the hotel at
in
just
that same
that
hotel.
precise moment when the princess shows up. Though she doesn't recognize him, she looks at him and is like, "Well, I don't
And
know
they
this dude."
check in at the same time. Yes, indeed.
So
In the hotel room,
amazing.
the little kinky thing that's going to happen gets a little kinkier because the Shobijin show up. Wait
They got
for
off the
us!
boat.
Do not take your clothes off. Do not clean up yet. We want to watch. I'm sorry, that's terrible. So the ship that the Venetian was warning about, the prophet Godzilla shows up. He just comes up out of the ocean for no apparent reason except to blow up that ship.
You in my water.
So the prophecy is fulfilled. Oh yeah, well we'll show you. We're gonna go through Godzilla-infested waters. So the gang is still watching the meteor, and then back at the hotel, the princess is very unresponsive to.
They cleaned her up though.
Yeah.
She did.
Got her a new dress and everything.
Cleans up nice.
So this is he's called the show-off door opener assassin. Look it up on IMDb. It's Kazuo Suzuki, another character actor who does all these films. But because of the whole shtick he does when he's picking the lock on the door, that's what they call him on IMDb. Show-off door opener assassin. Another one is called short tie assassin. That's Toru Ibuki. He plays in a lot of these Godzilla films too. So anyway, Shindo's talking to his sister Shindo. And she says, the Shobijin are in my room. And so is the Venusian. So what did you do today? Well, damn. I just put an old fisherman in jail.
No, she doesn't.
So while they're talking.
She doesn't want to tell him that she has, he has to basically force it out of her. It takes the keys.
See, the princess obviously doesn't recognize them because they don't have their air filters anymore.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. They don't have the air. She's possessed by the Venetian, So anyway, they come into the room, and Malmus is like, "Hey, she doesn't seem to recognize me." I'll kill her anyway. Yeah. So yeah, they've surrounded her, and then the show begin. They make noises.
They turn off the light.
Yes, they turn off the lights.
And
Yes.
they turn off the light. And then
Everybody
Shindo
freaks
comes
out.
in. All right, what have we got here? That's what all British
Crikey.
policemen say. Come into the room. All right, what have we got here? So
Well. What we got? Yeah.
So the bad guys get out of there real quick, double quick, because they don't want to deal with the police. And the prophet is hiding in the fireplace, because that's what you do. You hide the fireplace. Godzilla hits land and attacks a little coastal city there. Oh my God, Godzilla! Dun, 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 dun. This is the fourth Godzilla film, and the last one where he actually plays a full-out bad guy. And he seems kind of silly and cartoony in this a little bit. So again, they're starting to market towards kids now. After the last one, they decided, hey, let's just market to the kids maybe, and we'll make more money with the kids. And a couple of years, like 2 years later, Ultraman comes out, and that completely changes the game. Everything is all about the kids and the toys and everything. So they're getting their Hollywood lesson. Now Rodan flies over, and she does a flyover, and Godzilla, reacts and doesn't like it. Wait a minute, there's another kaiju in my area.
Hey, you're in my air.
You're in my space. Mount Fuji. On a clear day. And I guess that's where the meteor is. So they take the Venusian to a place to have her checked out. The princess.
Check her out.
The doctor there, Dr. Tsukamoto, is played by Takashi Shimura, who again is in a lot of the early Godzilla Toho films, and he's in almost every Kurosawa film.
He's in Godzilla 54, isn't he?
No,
he's not.
No, I think he passed away before they got to the newer Godzillas.
No. The first one got 1954.
Yeah. He's Professor. Oh, geez. Damn.
Yeah. Professor O'Gees.
He's in the first two. Yeah.
Yes.
Give me a second. Yeah. Damn it. Trying to go to IMDb. Gojira.
Yeah. Now the confrontation between
Godzilla
and Rodan.
He is Professor Dr. Yamane. Dr.
Yamane.
That's right.
In the first two.
Yeah.
But he's also in Frankenstein Conquers the World as the doctor in the beginning of that film.
Yep.
He does quite a few characters in these. Okay, so it's Rodan and Godzilla are not liking that the other one is in their space.
Godzilla is being offended by Rodan.
They're both a little territorial, I think. So Rodan is about to do a close flyover.
Poop on him.
And again, one of the great things about the earlier films was they really knew how to show, the people, looking up and seeing the devastation and like freaking out.
This is probably one of my favorite parts of this movie. And even as a kid, I remember, because they go into, when Rodan and Godzilla are actually fighting each other, they go into those little puppets.
Yes.
The puppets are so great. I love them so much.
they do that. They do that in all the early films. They do puppet work with
when Rodan's just like pecking him in the head, and he's just like.
Usually in the early films, when Godzilla shoots his fire breath, it's a puppet head.
Yep.
Yeah. Then they just put like an aerosol spray can inside or something, and
and they did that in Raids again too. They had the one with Anguirus and
Yep. And when he bites his neck, it's a puppet head. It's two puppets. And there's great puppet work in King Kong versus Godzilla too, when they're fighting on top.
Oh my God. The King Kong puppet is so ridiculously dumb looking. I remember as a kid just laughing at it. It looks like a duck. Like a duck gorilla.
Professor Mira, can't do this while I'm laughing now. They wake up. They all wake up. There's like a big storm, and there's something going on with the meteor. There's some kind of something happening with the meteor, and they all get up. And they come out of their tents.
It's like pulsating, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like a storm going on, I think, at the time, but there's also, yeah, it's like glowing again and pulsing, and I think all the stuff that it magnetically pulled to it, I think it drops everything. Yeah. So we can move on.
Moving on.
There it is. Okay, so then like sparks start to fly out from underneath it, like a reaction. Something's happening, not good. And a fireball shoots up out of the middle of the meteor into the air and transforms into King Ghidorah as Mira's group watches and takes photos.
Now we have a problem.
Yep. So yeah, Ghidorah is interesting in the fact that it's a suitmation suit, but its heads are puppets they're like marionette puppets that they have to animate with string, with wires, and the tail. But most of the monsters' tails are animated with wires, and the wings. So there is an actor in there. Let me tell you their names. Oh, geez, got a glare here. Shioichi Hirosa did it most of the time, and then Hiroya Sakamoto did it a little bit. They were suspended in midair as King Ghidorah, and they had to have their arms across their chest. In that, I mean, those bulging pectorals of Ghidorah's is actually
their elbows.
It's actually their elbows.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why
Wow.
King Ghidorah has that kind of weird look about the chest, like it's got boobs.
It just works out. That's all.
But they got the little fuzzies around the side, so it's got a nice Kukla, Brain, and Ollie kind of thing going on there. And, here are the people freaking out. Oh my God, it's a monster! It's a kaiju! It's another kaiju! This one flies. It's got 3 heads. Oh! And they're running and locking up their stores and stuff. And then Ghidorah does a low flyover and destroys, a la Rodan, destroys a pagoda there.
No respect.
Ghidorah also has kind of laser beams, electricity that he fires out of his mouth. I guess you could say electricity more than anything else.
Do you remember in Ultraman when the phone rings, it's literally Ghidorah's. It was like
his
it was the same sound effect.
Somebody called that a beady beady, and I liked it. I don't know why, but beady 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 beady. I like the original King Ghidorah sound from
I love it.
through Gigan, but then they changed it in the 90s, so it's more like a dragon roar.
Yeah.
I changed it, and I like the beady beaties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much more distinct.
It's distinctive. Yeah, that's a perfect word for it. So Ghidorah keeps flying over, and the I don't know, the head council of all the prime ministers is getting together to talk about, oh, we got all these kaiju. What the hell? They're all coming out of the woodwork. Damn it! What do we do? And now we got this new one, a 3-headed monster, and then we get some of the fight between Godzilla and Rodan.
Yeah, this is the puppet stuff, I think.
On the right, we got Godzilla in the suit. It's Haru Nakajima, who did it in the first, 12 movies. And the Rodan is actually, the flying Rodan. It's like a glider kind of thing on wire. That's a puppet. Here we go.
Yes.
But now we're
love
going to have his action happening.
Puppet action.
Puppet action. And I love how sometimes it looks like a blue beam of light, and sometimes it just looks like somebody spraying some spray in the air. Anytime it's a puppet, it's spray in the air. I'm gonna spit on you. I've got radioactive spit, damn it. And here's Roland
pecking him in the head.
Yeah.
Again, they changed Rodan's head so he looks more bird-like. It's got a kind of the beak isn't as sharp.
Yeah.
And it looks more like a bird beak. It doesn't look like what they had in the original Rodan. So they're like, what are we going to do? I don't know. Military stuff doesn't work against them. We've tried. And there's 3 of them. And that's when I think they pull out the Shobijin, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad guys are in a diner around the corner. And they see that they see the televised meeting, which is kind of a disaster, and they see that they brought the princess there.
What a coincidence!
Hey. All right, guys, smoke them if you got them, but we got to go. Let's go. Finish your coffee. And put on your neck filters. So they bring the Shindos also unbox. I love how they always keep it in a box. Like, okay, let's take the show around. Lug them around in a box. I can just see them banging around in there. Oh, I hate going to Tokyo. Want to go back to the island?
We always wind up in a box somewhere.
They always put us in a box.
What's in the
The
box?
nice ones put us in a box, damn it. So they're like, will you talk to Mothra and get Mothra to help? Well, Mothra's just a little caterpillar, but you guys keep us in a box and you're bringing us around. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk to her. And then we get Ghidorah's lightning, and very destructive. These scenes were reused in a lot of the later Godzilla films. They rehash this a lot. You see the same mobile station get destroyed in just about every film.
Yep.
There it goes.
Hey, man, that's expensive.
It is. What they did here was very expensive. As a matter of fact, this film was so expensive that they started tightening the budgets on the. You can tell in Monster Zero, there's a lot less city and a lot more like pastoral background.
Yeah. And then, like you said, a lot of the city destruction scenes, like in these movies, rehash.
Yeah. So, yeah, they had to cut the budgets real bad for Sea Monster and what was the one right after that? Son of Godzilla, because all the stuff takes place on an island, so they don't have to meticulously build buildings for people to knock down. There's Ghidorah doing his thing. Excuse me. So the Shobijin sing to Mothra. Here's a phone call. Will you come to Toho and fight this monster? Tell Godzilla and Rodan to go home, go away. And Mothra, they don't even finish the song. Mothra's on her way. Yeah, okay.
Oh, the funniest part, though, is they literally go through that whole song, and it's like, it's obviously an emergency. We need you. But Mothra's sitting there like, no, finish the song. They're going and going, and then he's like, okay, we'll do this. Appease me first.
Well, you got to say the magic words.
What?
So now I think the princess is naked. Not sure why.
Now we're talking.
They just throw a sheet over her. I'm not sure why. I guess she still has her black cocktail dress on, but they're gonna do a little shock therapy on her. Well, why don't we try shock therapy? And somehow I can't remember. I think somebody says on the TV, "Oh, we just took her to the blah 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 institute."
Yeah, coincidentally,
Malmus and his guys know exactly where she is. They sneak into the place there, and they decide, hey, let's just up the electricity on the thing here, and Shindo will take the blame. I like that.
This one goes to 11.
That's right. He turns it up to 11. Godzilla and Rodan are still at it. The local farm people are kind of sitting there watching instead of running. And then in one of my favorite bits, Rodan picks up Godzilla and just drops him.
This is my favorite part. He just picks him up and just flies him off.
That is Rodan's theme, but it was originally Varan's theme. Varan, the Unbelievable. But evidently, Akira Ifukube decided, you know what, I'm going to use that as Rodan's theme. And it's actually kind of the theme for When the Monsters Fight.
Yeah. They
always play it. They usually intercut it with Godzilla's theme. Dun, 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 dun. And then they'll play that one. Yeah. So again, one of the most recognizable cuts in the Godzilla films and the Showa series. Okay, so they're ready to crank it up.
Godzilla falls.
And then Godzilla falls on the tower. The princess is so damn lucky. She's so damn lucky. She's almost died a few times, and she's just so damn lucky. So yeah, Rodan just drops him right on a power line. That probably saved Godzilla, by the way. That power line cushioned me on my fall. Rodan's like, damn. So all lights go out. Everybody starts shooting everybody else. The assassins are here. Pew, pew.
I always love the sounds of their guns. They're so weird sounding.
Yeah.
They're like.
Yeah, they sound like it's the sound of alien guns that are used in another earlier film. I can't remember which one it was. And they just use them for the regular guns for some reason. And yeah, they sound like real puny. They sound really small.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be guns with like silencers, I think. But Professor Mira shows up just in time. Hey,
got that box.
Gunshots. Here, you keep the box.
What's in this?
Damn it! God, I'm not gonna be able to sing anymore.
I wonder, is it something to do with censorship in Japan at the time? Because nobody ever actually gets shot. I mean, we saw that in the other one where they're shooting each other on the beach.
Terrible shots.
Actually, on the mountain with a sniper rifle, what's his name? The bodyguard does get hit in the arm because he grabs his arm and blood filters out of
there's a bit of blood, yes, but nobody actually gets killed.
Oh no, I don't know if anybody dies.
Nobody does. Nobody dies from gunshots.
Nobody gets shot in the head.
Exactly.
No head wounds.
What happened to a good old fashioned gunshot to the head?
These were G-rated films, guys.
I suppose so. The
G-rated
bad guys,
kids.
The air filter people, that they wound up getting killed by a rock slide or something.
Yeah.
But,
yes,
but no gunfire. No, we can kill people, just not with guns.
Yes, you can drop a rock on them. Again, the same thing in Ghidorah. They dropped a rock on the bad guys in
Ghidorah, yes.
And we never really see you see the rock drop on them. Da! Boom. Same thing here. Rock drops on their car. A little bloody hand comes out. Ooh, and they all die.
I just wondered about that.
Die. So, they chase after him, but they get away, of course. And they go back, get into the car. Godzilla continues to fight Rodan. Now, this is the fight by Mount Fuji. Mm-hmm. It's again a little mix of puppetry and suitmation, and kind of fun to watch for kids. And Mothra is going to come in just a second, I think.
Is that where he bites his tail? Yep.
Oh, that's
he looks around like a cat. Like
that's where he bites his tail.
He's like, what the
hell? He's biting my tail.
It's like a cat, like
Yeah, so they're playing it for laughs now. You know, they have a little like tennis match with a couple of boulders too.
Yes, there was that. Yes, it got
Which
a little ridiculous.
They do later with Godzilla and the Sea Monster with Ebirah, and they do it in a couple of films after this, but this is the first one I think.
Godzilla vs Kong as well. I think.
Did they do that in Godzilla vs Kong?
Didn't they? I think they did. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, they were just throwing boulders. They were Godzilla, yeah.
They were just throwing boulders.
I don't think they were back and forth.
Yeah.
Again, they were trying to please the kiddies.
Yeah.
So they've got the princess in the car now. She has told them basically, look, you know, I am a Venetian. I've warned you about all this stuff because we can see it. You know, we have ESP, and this is the princess, but you know, I'm in her body, and you guys got to get a clue. Okay, your Earth's going to end if you don't get these monsters to team up and fight against King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah wiped out Venus. Okay, so Mothra shows up and talks to Godzilla and Rodan, and they're being obnoxious, and you know, there's the Mothra's not talking yet; she's watching. There's the tennis match, and then Mothra starts to spray them with the goo.
It's got to get their attention,
and they're laughing at each other when they get sprayed with the goo. So you can
Rodan's like, did you just spray me with?
Yeah, I love their laughs. It's really funny. They're very Muppety.
Yeah.
So the Shobijin are translating now. They speak all monster, I guess. They speak Godzilla. They speak Radon. They speak Mothra. Oh no, Godzilla's using such bad language. That's like one of my favorite lines. And I don't know why, but Godzilla here at this scene, he's kind of just looking up at the sky and his mouth is moving.
Well, I mean, look at Rodan's kind of doing the same thing.
Rodan is just kind of moving their head from side to side. And again, it's like they're not focused on what's going on here. They're just kind of doing their thing. So it's kind of like in the Charlie Brown cartoons, everybody does a different kind of dance, and you can kind of do it.
And Mothra's like, guys, take your Adderall, man.
Focus.
So they disagree. They don't want to fight King Ghidorah. They're like, why should we help the humans? The humans always hate us, and they're always trying to kill us. So no, F you. Get lost.
And Godzilla says humans always bully us, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Because Godzilla would say that. You know, I'm the victim here.
I know.
So Mothra's like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to fight her by myself. It goes scuttering off. And King Ghidorah shows up. And this is where a landslide destroys the car and all the bad guys except for Malmus. Malmus is the only one that survives this.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that we know of. They look pretty dead.
And
he's actually able to get out of the car, and he actually pulls his rifle out, and he's like, I've got to kill that princess, damn it. That's it. Most guys would have gone home and said, look, the rest of the team got killed by a giant kaiju. All right, give me a break. So King Ghidorah flies in now. Okay, this is not as expensive as city. It's like a nice little village with, like, you know, but King Ghidorah stomps through that. And again, they do a lot of this in the next movie. It's like little villages, not full cities, except for stock footage. And he starts to destroy that area. And again, Godzilla and Rodan start to fight again. They're like, yeah, you know, get away. Go do your thing, whatever. And then King Ghidorah shows up again. They're all in the same neighborhood now. Because as we've established in the very later Monarch films, the Monsterverse films, King Ghidorah is an alpha who senses other kaiju and makes them bow down to him, basically. Godzilla's kind of the same way. Godzilla's kind of the same way. He's like, hey, I'm the alpha. All right. So Mothra goes off to fight King Ghidorah.
That's just disrespectful.
Yeah, come on. That's a nice little temple there with a
Right?
nice little gate coming in. You reckon that? Come on.
It's pretty.
Yes, don't destroy the Tory gate. It's terrible.
So yeah, when King Ghidorah sees Mothra and how small Mothra is, oh man, just zapping the hell out of her ass.
I
all over the place.
I love when King Ghidorah like zaps Mothra, and Mothra literally goes flying through the air.
Flying, flying, and we always get a reaction from one of the human characters too. There's Shindo. Oh, oh! It's like this really broad reaction. No, flying in the air, ass upward. God. His sister does the next reaction when she flies up like for the third time. Girl, I can't watch anymore. It's so terrible. Like,
yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
there they are reacting. Ah! Oh, ow! That must
Mothra just
hurt.
yanked through the air.
Mark. That must have hurt. That's gonna leave a mark. And then Godzilla comes around the corner to his theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, picking on the little guy, huh?
No one beats on that word but me.
Exactly.
And when you see Godzilla do that, when he does this, it's over.
Yep.
It's game over. Because that means you were throwing down now. So he runs downhill. I love the fact that he runs downhill. Ghidorah zaps him in the tummy. A nice little tummy reaction. And pushes him through a bridge. Like a nice little train bridge there. Because again, they're cheaper than cities. We could just make that in a couple of days with some popsicle sticks and paint it red. Rodan does a flyover, pecks his head. Ghidorah goes flying up, getting out of there. The
Chase
forest
them.
is kind of the forest is kind of starting on fire from Ghidorah's beams. Mothra grabs onto Godzilla's tail, I guess ever so lightly because he doesn't react like he did when Rodan grabbed his tail.
And Godzilla pulls him up like uphill.
And he takes him up the hill. Godzilla takes him up the hill. So they're working as a team now.
Come on, little buddy.
Rodan does an immediate fly around and just clobbers King Ghidorah head on, causing them both to fall down. Then Rodan takes a nice vantage point behind some rocks while Ghidorah's lightning trying to zap him. Godzilla starts throwing rocks.
Hey, over here.
And that's really a King Kong move. It's Kong throws rocks. Godzilla uses the fire breath, the atomic breath.
He doesn't really use it that much in this movie, to be honest.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
Just for the boat,
Yeah, I think he blasts at Rodan a couple of times.
Blast some spray at Rodan, some spit at Rodan. So the princess is out there for no real apparent reason.
She's praying
on a ledge, and she's
she's praying for
and a perfect target for Malmus, who manages to find a cliff right across from her.
Yeah.
And Shindo comes down. Hey, princess, where have you been? And Malmus shoots him.
And then King Ghidorah playing dirty.
King Ghidorah zaps again the rocks over Malmus, and Malmus takes a nice big boulder and falls down into the ravine. The monsters again gang up on Ghidorah. There's 3 of them against one for each head.
Yeah, and then Mothra on his tail.
And Mothra, one for each head. That's true. Mothra's got him by the tail. Rodan's pecking his back. Godzilla's taking the hits, man. He's taking the lasers.
He's the tank.
The electricity. He's getting a butt shot. He's getting a foot shot. He's getting a hot foot. They do that in the next movie too. He gets a hot foot again. I'm like, God, come on, come up with something new. And then Mothra says, "Hey, let me get on your back, Rodan."
Oh yeah, yeah. This is great.
Let me spray him from up above.
Flying artillery.
Yeah. So Rodan lets him get on the back, and Godzilla holds him by the tails. He's got both tails, and they spray him with Mothra webbing. And it worked in the last movie. Hey, now we can dump him in the drink. Because that's what they do in the middle of the 60s monster movies. Hey, let's end this right now. Let's just dump them all in the drink. Let's just dump them in the ocean, and one of them will go away, and that's the end of the film.
In this one, he actually flies off, though.
Yeah. So,
He's just like, screw this. I'm out.
They dump him in the drink first, though, right?
No, he just flies off. He's like,
they throw him, and then he's just like, I'm done with this. I'm out.
All right. Okay, you're right.
there are heroes.
In my mind, for some reason, again, Monster Zero, he dumps in the drink and then he flies off. He comes out of the drink and flies off, and Godzilla and Rodan are left under the water. So in the last part of the film, they're having a nice news press conference. The princess comes back. The alien lets her have her body back, I guess. And the doctor there says, yeah, it's amazing. I guess you had some sort of amnesia or something, and now you're okay. And looking very sexy, she's like, well, I was hoping you'd come and be my bodyguard. And he was like, well, I got to stay here because he's an idiot. Seriously. I mean, who wouldn't take that job? Come on. I get to protect you night and day. She's a hottie. I'm telling you. The first movie I saw with her was You Only Live Twice, and I fell in love. I did. I was like, oh, don't kill Aki. She's the good one. But she does play bad girls in a lot of films. And I'm okay with that. So anyway, they watch the plane take off, and Shindo's this look on Shindo's face is like, man, I should have taken that job. The hell was I thinking? Maybe I can call her.
He didn't want to wear the silly collars. That's all it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear that air filter.
And here's an interesting thing. Godzilla and Rodan are still roaming free, and they're like waving to the plane. Yeah, go back to your country. Thanks.
Apparently they settled their beef.
Actually, they're waving to Mothra. Mothra's going back to Infant Island. They're like, yeah, go back to your island. Yeah, we're going to be thrown on Monster Island in a couple of years.
The end.
That's the end of the film. So that's Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Originally spelled Ghidrah, Ghidorah. Ghidorah, shortened from Ghidorah, which is what the name really is. And it's King Ghidorah, which even Nick Adams says that in Monster Zero. It's King Ghidorah. Yes, on the planet Earth, you call this monster King Ghidorah. And we'll be doing that one in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. So we got to do Frankenstein Conquers the World first. I'm going in order. The Toho canon from the early 50s or mid 50s through Terror of Mechagodzilla. That's this season. So we're on episode 11 now. And thank you, Charles, Jinx, for joining us on this episode. Always good to have you on our shows here. And this is going to be archived on YouTube and Twitch and X, thanks to Anastasia, who does such a good job with all this stuff. And thank you, Anastasia.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I enjoyed tonight. I love anything with Mothra, so very excited.
You're a Mothra fan.
I also, yes. Everybody is Mothra fan, actually. Everyone.
She was flying around in this one. Sacrifice. She symbolized sacrifice. And I think this was the first movie where they actually kind of pointed that out or actually kind of put her in that position. Or, okay, she'll sacrifice herself to save everybody. So
she's very nice. That is why I like her. She's very nice.
Nice Kaiju.
And she has fans, obviously.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She does. They actually in the 90s when they stopped making the Godzilla movies for a while, they started making a series of Mothra movies, the Rebirth of Mothra. There was like 3 of those. I'm sorry, I have. Yes.
They're ridiculous.
They're really for the kids.
They're ridiculous. I think it was recently. I think within the last was it 5-10 years, I went because I'm not a huge Mothra fan. Like
No.
of all the monsters, I was like, Mothra, whatever.
Yeah.
But like I was like, I'm gonna watch them because I want to watch everything. And
Right.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. They're tough to get through.
Yeah, they're so silly, man.
The Gamera films, with the kids in the 60s were kind of weird like that,
Oh yeah.
Gamera was famous. Gamera is the protector of all children, and those were kind of like that. And again, they were just marketing the kids, and they were cheap to make. And they did have a couple of cool iterations of King Ghidorah, like earlier versions and later versions, and so they did have that. I think the first one they had like a sea creature, and it was not that impressive. It was just like, but anyway, we digress. So yeah, this one was a good one. A lot of people like this movie, and again, I had some really special effects. So again, thank you for joining us on the show. Thank you, Professor Wallnott. Always good to have you on board to give us your take. And we'll be back next week with Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, Frankenstein and Baragon.
What a great monster.
He is. I like Baragon. I wish they used him more.
I know. It's only in the one.
But then again, I like Gabra, so a lot of people don't like Gabra. And I was like, why didn't he ever get his shot in a real Godzilla movie? Not some kid's fantasy.
Oh my.
If he had been like, if they had put him together with like Gigan or Megalon and King Ghidorah, as a space monster, he's cool. I like him.
He's the space bully.
Yeah, well, anytime you put bully in the same sentence with Gabber, it's like, oh yeah, Chiro, it's fantasy again. Great. No. And it's not like I'm saying, hey, bring back the giant condor. I'm not doing that. It's just
No.
I think they should have given him a second shot. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. You guys take care. Have a great one. And again, keep watching our shows on YouTube and Twitch and X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.